Okay, I'm debater today, and first subject is what do you think the most important technique to apply PLM to smart factory? Give your opinion, and it is difficult for you. I will example. And idea. Give your opinion.
I think the first one, the data, is the more important technique because it is a lot of component mixed with another company. For example, the car, there is my main car company, and there is another manufacturing company such as making brake system and the other systems. So if there is a accident, like a equal situation, and by analysis of big data, it will be served easily with the quality.
How about Wang?
I would choose to select number two because for data exchange between different systems, especially the product lifecycle management, I think for most products, PLM is a very important process for PLM. So our class analyst PLM. So for PLM, it involves a lot of data management process, for data exchange between the different CAD systems. So this time, especially for the production process, because we have the CAD system, the CAD files, and CAD models, and so how can we ensure that information can be transmitted and transferred entirely and safely? It's a very big issue. So I think number four can be included in number two because the big data related techniques. I think data exchange can include big data techniques.
But this data and this big data is different because big data is not structured. Very, very unstructured data and very big and large, numerous data.
You mean data cloud?
Yeah.
Yeah, but data exchange process also has a lot of big data, point cloud, for shipbuilding. So we have a lot of point cloud. So we have to collect those data and to utilize them. And so
What kind of data is in the big data?
What kind of data in big data? This is not determined. Yeah. Big data means unstructured.
Was it related to the product?
Yeah. Also including product or customers' requirement and so on. How about you, Bin?
No, so
Not finished?
yeah, I haven't finished it. So, like, how big is big data? So, I have questions about that. How big is really big data?
How big?
So you said it hasn't been distinguished. So, like for data exchange process, and we also have a lot of data. So many of them very big and many very small. So how can we distinguish the difference between big data and small data?
Think of this situation. Suppose Google. A lot of users search everything from the Google, and that search data can be big data, and that is very random, and it can be anything, and it is very big. It's not structured. So in that regard, we say that kind of data, big data. We can also say.
But how about shipbuilding process? Because and if we scan something, like a code,
Yeah, you mean point cloud?
yeah, point cloud.
That is very big data in terms of data size, but it's very one type of data. Just point cloud. We know it's point cloud, and we know what it is, and we know what to do with this. So we don't call this as a big data. Big data is a different type of issue. Very unstructured and very unexpected, and we extract some meaningful information by analyzing that unstructured data.
So the unstructured data, how can be important to the PLM? How can be
Big data technique. Big PLM should receive some data of customer requirement or related product, and the process. Big data processing should be executed, I think, and this is my thought, and you can propose another opinion.
Maybe you are the expert.
How about your opinion, Yubin?
My opinion is same as Wang, because each product has its different system. So the data exchange between different systems can be important to each product.
Okay. For Mohamed, this is original question. What do you think the most important technique to apply PLM to smart factory? And I give some example, 1, 2, 3, 4, and you can propose your opinion. What do you think of this subject?
So PLM is related to it's like product life cycle management. So it goes from design until marketing and then improvement of the product. So I think every company is made around certain products. Right? There's no company without any product. Like assuming it's a manufacturing company. So I think PLM is like the core of the company. ERP and MES are kind of it's part of the process. So without ERP and MES, there's no manufacturing, but without PLM, there's no product. So I'm just talking now, but PLM is important, of course, but I'm not really sure how to improve it in a smart factoring environment.
What is different between step and data exchange?
Step is between CAD systems, I think.
Yeah, but step is also like data exchange process.
So I insert this phrase between different systems.
So the step fixed in the product, the geometry, like CAD.
Non-geometry information is also in CAD. Related CAD system, I think.
Okay.
Can I add something? So, I'm not sure if this system is already implemented or not, but maybe it will be easier if we have a system or a data exchange between design software, like CAD, and the ERP software. So CAD can design, we can design the product in CAD, we can design maybe manufacturing tooling in CAD, and then this somehow connects directly to the ERP to tell the manufacturing guys like what they need to manufacture exactly. I think something similar is already done, but I'm not sure if it's complete like synchronization. But I think we have to talk for the design department and the manufacturing department. And data exchange is the way the software can talk. So each engineer can use their software and they just find the same data on both sides from different perspectives.
Do you have any other opinion? Okay, I go next. In case of language, there is also standard language, but people do not use it at all instead of English. In this point of view, is step necessary for exchange of product model data? How about using one of famous product model data instead of step? What do you think? What I'm saying is this instead of English, Annex or Katia and this inventor, Aviva Marine and so on. And how about this instead of here is step? Wang, what's your opinion?
I think in terms of language, so because actually there's no standard, but because English is more famous, so that's the reason why. Because and also English is used by a lot of people, so English that's the reason why people choose to use English as most used language for communication, for like anything else. But for it is not. I think in the world, people don't think English can be standard. Yeah, but for like a product, like for production process, for like a step, because in different companies they use different CAD systems. So some like for some companies they have their own like in the developed software. So the reason why I think they choose to use this kind of software is because for their like safety, I mean like privacy sometimes. So but for the exchange process, because if for one company they want to like sell their product to another company. So there must be exchange process, like in terms of step or standard data exchange process. So yeah, because we have to ensure that all of the information about the product should be transferred and then translated. So I think this process step or other standard must be used. It's quite necessary to implement this kind of standard to exchange data between different kind of systems and even different industrial fields.
I think it's a competition. These are commercial companies, so if you just choose one of the formats to the standard, other companies would not accept. So it has to be a convention, and all software should be able to talk to that conventional format, middle format. And sometimes software have different features programmed into them, like cat features, and step, I think, has to be able to handle all kinds of features. So, if I'm not mistaken, I think step takes only the surface perspective, so it will ignore the features that are used to make these services because the features can be different for different software, and it's just concerned with the end product. So yeah, I think it's just because of competition, you cannot choose one specific software.
How about Yubin and Donguk?
I think there is different problem within that because the step is made for exchange between computers. It is data, but the language is between the human. So the recognition system is different, I think. So the step is useful to computer, but in case of language, I don't think step is not suitable.
I think in terms of communication, for the person as a language in English, or the data exchange as a the system, like a step, the purpose I think is the same. I think same. And the second one, I know that there is another standard which is ISO 15926, which is for standards for process oil and gas plants, which is nuclear power plant. So is it specialized for the nuclear power plant, or the step is for CAD system, and another one was maybe a GPM that it products in that? Something like that. Yes. I think each standard is focused on their strengths, depending on the purpose.
I also have a question. So here, for the language, do you think, between Korean and Chinese, should we use English as a medium? Because even if there's no English, we can translate the Chinese into Korean, because we don't need to use English as a medium. But for stack, it's different, and for UG and CATIA and for previous some CAD systems, there must be a standard. But for language, it's different, and it can be done without English. Yeah.
So that we call direct translation.
Yeah.
This shows the indirect translation. So if you go to the UN meeting, committee meeting, you cannot do direct translation for each personal speech. You need a standard language for the whole committee meeting of UN.
Yeah. But here I think for the language and the staff, it can be used. It can be used as this kind of like a metaphor or even for parable. Or this kind of. It can be. It can't be equivalent for this process.
Can I add something? I just look at it as a mathematical kind of argument, from a mathematical point of view. So if you do a translation from to every language, you have too many translations, you do too many combinations. But if you have a center and then everyone translates to the center and then out the center, so you have much less translation work to do. And this relates to the UN example, Professor said. So it's just less work and achieves the same thing. So it's a smarter way of doing things if you choose a standard.
Okay. That's all.
Hey.
이게 뭐 저기 또 있던데? 또 다른
HDMI.
이쪽. Right. I have two comments on your discussion today. One is there is two different kind of standard. What sound is it?
요즘 유튜브에서 나오는
Okay. I should. Right. Thank you. So there is two kind of standard. Right? One is it is coming from Latin, so this pronunciation is de jure, something I heard of, and de facto. So you told of us in what is it? Step and NX. Step, which one is better? Or step or NX or CATIA, or CATIA. So this one is coming from commercial world. Commercial world. This is coming from international organization. Who decide on this? Who made this one? National delegates gathering to some place. Right? So each nation has one vote. It's very similar to UN. So we call this kind of one coming as de jure standard. It's based on law. It's not rotating, not following me. Something wrong, right? 배터리요? And this one is coming from just commercial world. Nobody decide one, but many person pushes to be a standard. So that this is coming nature or competition, natural competition, survived standard. So if
if CATIA or NX, they are still competing each other, right? We don't know which one is better or which one will stay longer. If they are better than STEP and also stay longer than STEP and others, then they can be a de facto standard in the future. Otherwise, currently, the STEP is the jure standard. Right? So there is a different background there. So anytime it can happen. Sometimes de facto standard is more widely used than the jure standard. Another tip to you is you can try to simulate debate among students while you are trying to lead the discussion. That may be the better idea. So sometimes, like that one, see, STEP or NX or CATIA can be some student can support for one side, the other student can support the other side. So it can be a debate. So then discussion can be more heat up, right? So easier to comment. So try to make such a subtle, or you can choose a subject like half of the student can support, the other half is not supporting. Try to so that debate can start. There is one tip to you, all right, for discussion session. All right, and then any other question on this? We have a schedule for today. We started from Ungsig's discussion session. Then I will going on to the PLM standard. I will be short for why PLM standard is needed, and then Wang will cover. But Wang, did you send your material to student? No. No? Oh, it's a fresh one. Okay. So this is my slide. I will quickly cover. So you already see this slide before, right? Last time. So, but I changed the title. Long-term data archiving is very important for 50 years of operation of a nuclear power plant. So you should think about the nuclear plant itself. It can be more than 50 years, nuclear power plant itself. But how can you store the engineering data, design data? In a scanned digital file or CAD file? But the storage medium only stay about 10 years. 10 years. How about software? The life cycle of software is shorter than storage medium and much shorter than product itself. So you need to have a standard for it. Also, PLM standard, because of such a situation that Europe, there are many countries are involved to develop PLM or the aircraft, Eurofighter or Airbus, but they use different PDM system. So they need to exchange PLM data between different PDM systems. That's why. So PLM, what is PLM? So you can think about this is kind of database technology, application of database technology. And what is a return on investment? Why should a company install and use PLM system? Because of the time. I told you that PDQ is important for any industry. Quality, time, and what is that? TQC, cost, right? TQC. quality, time, and cost. But among them, time is more important nowadays. So the PLM helps to reduce time to market. And this history of PLM, it is starting from engineering database. So there has been a document management system or draft management system, and then comes to the PDM, product data management. It is a draft management system. Draft is drawing management system, drawing, engineering drawing or design drawing, and product data. Now it comes to the PLM. So this is one example, sample case of a nuclear plant in Korea. So the KHNP is a Korea Hydraulic and Nuclear Power Company. So this company is the single company in Korea which owns and operates all the nuclear power plant in Korea. Now around 22 nuclear plant is operating now. And when they start a new plant, the design is done by another company, a subsidiary company. They change the name, and the main turbine is purchased from a commercial private company called Doosan Heavy Industry. And also construction of nuclear plant is also done by another private company, such as Hyundai Construction or Samsung Construction. There's competition. And then after construction, it is operated by KHNP, but there is also a helping special company called KPS, another company, specialized for maintenance. But these different organizations are used for EPC cycle, but they use different CAD system, also PLM system. Intergraph is one of the PLM system here. So they need to exchange or share or the engineering information of one nuclear power plant for the whole life cycle of construction and operation. That's why you need to. Also, there is another ERP system for each company. Also, the KHNP also has an ERP. I already showed this one, extended enterprise. In old days, we were only talking about inside one single manufacturing company, but nowadays you need to include supply chain, and also customer relationship, so that the extension, because of the outsourcing is popular now. This is a company called Donghi Automotive inside Korea. They produce the whole car of Morning. This is Morning of Kia, Morning car. So they produce car itself, but their brand is from Kia, not from Donghi. So there is a OEM construction now, but it's increasing, the size is increasing. So why standard? We need to have a communication among different organizations, want to exchange or share design drawings, and globalization, it creates more needs. The market is globalized, and sourcing means the supply chain, global sourcing. Global sourcing means you purchase, you think about Apple, Foxconn. We talk about Foxconn has about 50% of parts is purchased inside China, but the remaining 50% is coming from outside. We call this kind of thing is global sourcing. So you need to have a communication of engineering information. So life cycle is along the timeline, but outsourcing is coming from space-wise, distance, long distance. So So time and space should be covered. So we need the different technology. So this one, we already talked with this number of translations is n squared. But here, if you have an indirect translation, you need only 2n translators. So number of translation and maintenance also, translator should be maintained because systems are changing every 3 years, 5 years. So translators are updated when the upgrade softwares are coming. So not only developing but also maintenance of translators are very good. But as Wang Nin told us that direct translation is better in quality than indirect translation. If you use English as a medium between China and Korean, you need to twice translation. The quality of translation is not good, not better than direct translation between China and Korea. Right? So there's a pros and cons, advantages and disadvantages. So you should think about this. So international standard. They started from a CAD system, but now it is including more than CAD system. 15926 is not CAD system, data exchange between CAD system. It is for parts library. It is for classification of library. Right? So step is growing. Also AP239 is for PLM data structure. So it also covers PLM. So step now is wider than the beginning of the scope. All right, this is work we are doing in our laboratory. Also, you are involved in that as a term project. Right? Term project. So we want to exchange the CAD model between. This is Pro Engineer NX. No, Pro Engineer. What is the name of Pro Engineer now? Creo. PTC Creo. This is CATIA. But after translation, I want to change the model parametrically. So we call parametric change of CAD model. So this one, the angle of the model is changed by changing of one single parameter. That is we call parametric translation. But current step does not allow such a translation. And for that development, in our laboratory, we developed a small translation-oriented CAD system. So you'll see that. And this is final one, and that one is covered by Wang Nin also. So I will not explain. This one, the PLCS, is the standard for operation and maintenance, and that is covers this AP239 PLCS, product life cycle support, and that is life cycle. But you see that the distance or range is very smaller, but in real time, this one is more than 40 years for nuclear power plant, and this line covers only about 5 years or 10 years in the real world. Right? Operation and maintenance is 40 years and more than 40 years. So this one is much longer and important than ever before. That's why we need to have a standard for long-term data archiving and also exchange, a long timeline and a long space. All right, so that's it for me. Any questions? No question for discussion session. All right, Wang Ning question.
Okay, so let's just figure out those like abbreviations. So actually, I don't know the meaning of WT and I know that I've searched through the internet. So let's first talk about VPM. So the meaning of VPM is like a visual project management. So it's like a facility, like help humans to receive 95% of the information through like a visual perceptions. So the latest trend is to some like like a project management that can do like do some like take care, like a visualization system, like Kanban system, like in Japan, like Toyota. So they are doing like using this kind of visual project management to help to improve their like production efficiency. So there will be some problems for this management system. So first of all is sometimes it is too large because it contains a lot of information. So and often it will make the data like even for like because it contains a lot of storage. So there will be a very huge data process. So it will like intricate the data management process, and sometimes because of too many stories, so it will be a very big problem because of the quality and even for the development speed. Also, like here for the CMS, so CMS is content management system. So it is a system that uses computers to support the creation and even for the modification of digital content by using the interface to like abstract data, the details, and even to extract data from that process. And so this this content management system can be used as like a web-based publishing, like a format management, history editing, and version control, and even indexing and search and retrieval process even. The advantages for this CMS is it can reduce reduce the process to like a code to like program from the scratches, and sometimes it can also like help us to create a website very like quickly and very efficiently. And so like for the IMAN, so I've searched through the internet. It looks like a company. IMAN is like a, I don't know for sure, but for
Brand name.
the brand name. So
Brand.
yes, so it's a brand name, and for CPI, and we all know CPI that. So okay, so I also briefly introduce the PLM service. So the PLM service is to like its strategy is to help like companies to improve the ROI, like return on investment to their R&D like investment by building a PLM business case and roadmap, and even developing the right innovation and portfolio like a strategy, and defining the PLM processes and designing the appropriate R&D operating model, and even managing the organizational change. So it is also a technology that can help us to help us and the companies to optimize their like technology investments, and with especially the like capacity to provide customized like leading edge solutions through like alliance and even with the major PLM like technology providers. So yeah, it's just a basic some basic information about a PLM service. So, as I have understood from this process is we have two companies and even two partners. So, from the partner one, so because we use online collaboration, so those two XML and even SOAP. So the information goes to PLM service, like just I've mentioned here. So for this PLM service, it helps it's a strategy, help companies to improve the ROI for their R&D investments. So in this process, the partner one just disseminated their information to the PLM service section. So which involves the product data management system. So it also includes four parts like WT, LCA. I don't know WT. So Professor, can you tell us what's the meaning of WT? WT LCA.
There are different PTM system brands.
Brand also here.
All of them are PTM systems. Different PTM systems.
Okay, so we have different PTM systems, but how can we here between the two PTM systems we have to exchange the data by using the synchronized step file. So in this process, all of the information that is contained in the first PDF system can be transferred to the second PDM system. For example, here we have the first PDF system. We have four brands, and the second system it contains two brands. So by using this PLM service, we can transfer our data to the second PLM system. So during this process, we need the system synchronization. So for the first system, PLM services scheme, both of the systems are based on the web-based service. So by using this PDM, step file, so we can realize this data exchange process. This is what I've understood from this process. So okay, so hold it here. Okay, so next one is about life cycle assessment, LCS. Yeah, not here. Okay, LCS. Okay, I made a mistake. So let's just talk about LCS. Life cycle assessment. So life cycle assessment is also a technique to assess the environment impact on all stages of the product life form. So it can be used in terms of raw material instructions through materials processing, manufacturing, even distribution, and even use and repair and maintenance, and even disposal, and even for recycling. So the most for the advantages, so life cycle assessment can help us to avoid a narrow outlook on environment concerns, through compiling the inventory of relevant energy and for material inputs and even environmental releases. And it can also be done by evaluating the potential impacts associated with identifying inputs and releases. and else, what else? So it can also be done by interpreting the result to help make a more informed decision. So this is a life cycle assessment. So this should have what I've done. So the next in Professor's PPT. So here we're going to talk about OMG PLM service. OMG is like a okay here. Where's the file here? Okay, so OMG, the meaning of OMG is Object Management Group. So this process is related to the product like lifecycle management. So the first question is, why do we need a standard like OMG PLM services? Because for like a partner integration process, so we have partner supplier, part supplier, a module supplier, and innovation partner. So for the part supplier, and we should it provides us with some like a standard modules and with pure delivery. And for the module suppliers, and it can facilitate the high responsibility, and even for the sub suppliers with virtual processes. So for the innovation partners, so it can integrate the virtual processes in the second stage, the module supplier, to with process knowledge management based on standards. So another problem is how can we build build up virtual development networks based on standardized like PLM service environment. We know that PDM is backbone, and even for this PLM system and PLM service. So by using this system, and it can for the internal data to be extended to outside, just like outsourcing. So for this is the final one is a basic a network of a value network, so of virtual development network. Okay, so this is a basic information about object management group. And okay, for this OMG PLM services, it contains the first basic task is to realize the common working environment. So it can be a document management, team and task management, and even integrated project data, and also integrated engineering data. So it can also be used as communication and elaboration, a medium. So it is a demand communication with the partners, and even application sharing, and even virtual conferencing, and either it's 2D or 3D. So in this process, first we have teamwork for collaboration. So we start from the OGM PLM service. It can be it's just a medium. So we can there will be different PLM services, different companies. They can realize a teamwork for even on network, or even on a conference. So this can be done just through this organization and management group system. Yeah. And okay, so and also here for just wait a moment. Yeah, this is the PPT from Professor. So Professor just searched the object management group. So this is the main page, but I searched. It's quite different because it's a very long time ago, So now is the page is totally different. Okay, so for this is about the architecture of PLM service. So we have actually this service is like a model-based, like a data, like a model-driven architecture. Like it's a kind of data-based architecture. So we like for example here we have step AP 214 and the CPP CC8 PLM is kind of different standard, and for like information PLM and computation PLM, so we can have like there are like a lot of different processes in this like a development web service. So we have a lot of basic like models for data description, and even for like platform independent model. Yeah, there are a lot of information about it. Okay, I will just show my. Okay, for I search through the internet as this is a basic architecture of PLM service. So in this process, it involves like 5 process. Like first is like a requirement planning, which can be included as like a PLM user base and user distribution, graphical, and even data complexity, and even concurrent usage, and even for existing production system configuration and customization and the sizing estimate. And the second is like a development planning. So like it is for like environment planning, site specific, like a deployment plan, and for a lot of items. And for hardware selection, so there are a lot of like also like a hardware selection, performance benchmarking, even for like environment topology, hardware and requirement and specification. So I also like architecture design. And the final one is like a rollout. In this process, like a deployment, installation and configuration, and performance tuning and optimization, and also like monitoring and even maintenance. Okay, so this is about the basic architecture of PLM service. Here, like professor just mentioned a lot of PLM service cases. I just searched through the internet. So yeah, this is a basic service cases. The first one is like the pro step IVIP shows profile. This is the pro like a step IVIP is also it's like a association that aims at like an international association that has committed approaches to solve problems and even like modern standards for product data management. So, and this is the first one. And or the second one is like a Bosch group, and Bosch group. So it's also a group that is a leading global supplier of technology and even service. So it's like just like a corporation company now. And for the third one is Daimler, so Daimler AG. So this is also like okay, I can't say it. It's a German, like a multinational automotive like a company corporation. So this is like a Benz, even for Toyota, if not Toyota, like a BMW. So this kind of automobile companies. And for like the last one is Pro Step is also like a leading partner for manufacturers and even suppliers in automotives and aerospace and electronics and other industries. So as we can see from here, yes, in this process, they also like use a lot of like PLM services. For example, for the second one, and PRM Service used as an internal like a company PDM data model, and for the third one, like they use like PRM services for their in-house communication backbone, and for the last one, it can be like an open PDM. Open PDM is here. Like Open PDM is a leading product for PLM system, like integration and worldwide, and even for they are like the main like functionality of these modules is a graphical mapping. So the key task is to do some like integration project in data in terms of data mapping. So it like helps to visualize the mapping relationships between like with a source and even for the target systems. Then they can also like help to reduce the amount of time requirement for this task and facilitate an intuitive like a mapping process. Okay, so this is okay. So this is a basic information about the Open PDM modules. This is a basic like functions about these modules. And even for like a PLCS, I've searched here. So PLCS is like they have to like it's like a configuration management through like a live information management. So it also has the second major change concerned like a relationship to supply chain management. So in this process, and as the work proceeded, so it will become like quite obvious that the resource management is just one aspect of the wider supply chain process. So especially for this is the basic PLS components of these systems. So we have like a product structure, product like a properties, and product like even facts, and even for the failure modes, and even deployment environment, and even for support performance, like several items. It can be utilized in the life cycle shared data to this process also like in here like change devices. And so for we start also start from here like a maintain and dispose and standard like commercial transactions and introduction to like maintainers. So it can be down by like a feed and even extraction and even query and even for response. So actually PLCS can like ensure that we can support the information, and also like it also can help to extend the ISO like a standard for data exchange process. This is a basic data exchange, information exchange process. So we have the PS like information exchange as a medium. So we have the design data and even the support data for like can be design data and can be exchanged to the maintenance of like magnificent data. I don't know. So for even for technological public data, and even for this can be used as outsourcing, and even for this process can be as used as inner part data. It can be inner used, even for parts data, and for maintenance data, and for in terms of maintenance MG data, even for functional requirement. So this is the basic process of PLCS. Yeah, here this is a website which is called OASS, Product Lifecycle Support. So this is a website. So I've searched it. So this is a basic information about this process. It's like a product data collaboration system. So it's about a European step. So that provides innovative software and solutions for a secure PLM collaboration with shared space. Shared space. They are focusing on the even for the vendor and even for the system log in the information, and even for they also can help to promote the existing data management process, and even for can reinforce the collaboration systems. So this is the basic information about that. This is about airplane production process. So for even for one component, it can be done through a AGU suppliers for different suppliers, and they have used different CAD systems. Here for the AGUs they use Pro-E, but for here they use CATIA. So this can be this kind of transformation can be realized by using the PLCS. This is a scope of step PDM scheme. So in this process, so actually the step PDM scheme is a core set of entities in step that support the mapping and the concepts for product data management. So this document and even the PDM scheme are the result of cooperative development process between the Pro step and even the PDES, the company. So the PDM scheme has been established to promote the interoperability between step APIs in the area of product data management. So this here it shows a common PDM data schemes generated and maintained by PDES. So the PDES different companies. So and even also for the it can fulfill nearly all requirements for PDM data exchange, identification, even visioning, and even for structures and transformations, and even for approvals and authorizations, and even for project management, and even for work order, and even for requirement for effectiveness. Last one is about IRAIN. IRAIN is actually it's a conference name in ISO 15926. So it involves a lot of fields. Here, IRAIN is ISO real-time interoperability network grid. So in this process, I ran I've searched that the Bentley is also a company that focuses on the even the like for offshore and even for the mechanical production process. So for their interoperability architectures, they have their own applications like I think AXS process, like Open Plant Power PID, and even for data management, and even other other APPs, and they are open plant schemes to create is as a model, and for also a shared components they use this I model for there's Iran and for a RDS extension and for class editors. As for Iran, they just do something related to implement for this process. And finally, actually they can be connected with the third-party applications like PRID and list data, vendor data, and other other APP. So actually, this process is really complicated, and just such they get the basic information. So this is what I have today.